don't just say, take care, mom, enjoy y'all day, put your feet up, relax. Derek, here's your remote, your whatever your beverage of choice is. I would say I man the grill, but y'all know that ain't my shot. I'm in the kitchen. So outside ain't it, but in the kitchen, I got you. But my lesson, I think that I learned from my dad is you have to show up to be accounted for.
Good day and welcome to the Get Established Show. Today we have a very special show. It is the Father's Day edition of the Get Established Show. And we will be getting into it. We've got some great questions and great dialogue we're going to have today. And I want to welcome everybody, just saying welcome. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to my brother, D. Jones. What's going on, brother?
Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Get Established Show, where we pride ourselves on building within and beyond. Today, I want to introduce our panel. We have Raymond Shine.
You know what it is.
Garrett Big Williams on the wheels of steel.
In the house.
And we have a special panelist today. This is my A1 from day one in high school. This was my ace, the beautiful Tamika Riddick.
Good morning, good morning.
Me.
Good morning.
And we also have some special guests on the show today. We have a high school principal by the name of Michael Jackson, and it's not the singer, y'all.
No, not the singer. Good morning. How we doing?
Welcome, Mike.
So we have a veteran in the house, Mr. Kenny Hutton.
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Raymond Shine.
All right, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it. This is the Father's Day show. So we're all here about to celebrate and commemorate the men that's in everybody's lives, women, sons, daughters, cousins, what have you, and I would just like to, add a little something to it. A lesson from my father. When he was telling me about life, the one lesson that I really can, recall to him telling me is like when you meet a woman, you want to marry or you want to be either 10 years younger or to your age, because when it comes to courting somebody, you got to think about long term in life, like, is this the person that you want to marry? So if that's the case, you have to think about how she is, and what you're gonna present yourself to her as, because if you're gonna be that leader, then you have to have the wisdom to be able to lead, so that 10-year experience, or that thing that gap is while she's the wisdom and will give you good counsel, you can be, the leader to give good, to be that leader for her, so, but I don't want to, I can go in a little later, but I'll just go ahead on and pass it to my man BIGG so he can go ahead and start the show.
All right. Thank you, my brother. So I'm going to get right into it. With this being the Father's Day special of the Get Established Show, I'm going to get right into it. So I'm going to pose this question, and anyone can jump in first. So this is one question that probably we've all had to deal with, because we know on Mother's Day, you can go to a restaurant and it's jam-packed. They'll basically tell you, come back tomorrow if you want a seat, if you didn't make reservations. But why is it that on Father's Day, you can virtually walk into any restaurant and get a seat? What is going on with that? I know we love our moms, but what's going on?
Hey, man, in a lot of households, dads are treated like second-class citizens. You know what I mean? Growing up, the emphasis was always put on mom. You know, my grandparents raised me, so my mom was my grandmother in that sense. And it was always my grandfather's point to make sure that we treated her with respect, that we make sure we went out our way to make sure that she got everything she needed. And that's just a man just wanting to take care of his household. The emphasis is always put on mom. If mom's mad at dad, everybody's mad at dad. You know, and that's just what it is, man. So I mean, I think it spilled over into society itself. It's just been more emphasis put on Mother's Day versus Father's Day because we don't require a whole lot. If you think about it, most men don't require a whole lot. So what would be different about our day?
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's true. And
That's
I'll
right.
piggyback off of what Derek said. In my house, my father was always take care of your mom. If the kids are good, I'm good. If the house is good, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. And I don't know if it came from that facade of just being I'm powerful, I'm strong, I don't need anything. You don't have to dote on me. Just make sure you love on your mom. If y'all are okay, I'm okay. So, and I think that did spill over into society because I can recall going into the store on Father's Day. I can get up on Father's Day morning and I'm guilty of not getting his car until that morning and running in the store and trying to find that t-shirt that says amazing dad or wonderful dad on the morning of. But my mom, because I know the stores are going to be limited, I pick up her car probably in April, the first day of May. And it's a struggle to know what I'm getting her because it's just mom. Like, I don't know. It's just, and I don't know that it's all society. I just think it starts in the house. And then again, just my dad's real fall back. He's laid back. I don't need anything. Just make sure I have a cold soda in my newspaper and a piece of chicken and I'm all right. And we've just bought into that. In the restaurant on Father's Day, your party can have a seat at the table. If it's three people in your party, everybody can have their own table. Mother's Day, you have a 3-hour wait. You can call ahead and get there and still wait. It's just what society has geared to as far. And I don't know if I don't know if it's society or just what we've set as a standard in the household.
I mean, I agree. It's society. From a financial standpoint, you know, you're gonna get more bang for your buck on Mother's Day because it's that emphasis on it. You know, so with the fathers, yeah, you're not gonna, you know, it's not an emphasis on it because, of course, like y'all said, it's about, you know, you know, we can handle it, we hold it down as long as everybody else is good, we're good. You know, I mean, I think about it as, you know, it's that you know, that man's man type of mentality that you know we had growing up. You know, I know it's seeing my pops is all about, you know, hey, you know, you just do what you got to do, keep it moving, don't worry about nothing else. Hey, I'm good. You know, I'm a hold it down. You know, I don't need the accolades. I don't need the, you know, the celebrations. All I need to do is just do my thing. Let me kick back. When I need to drink my beer, let me drink my beer in peace, and, you know, and keep it moving.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, I agree with that. You know, it's just, you know, most fathers just don't require much, you know, and it gets, I guess, passed down or it gets looked at that way. Oh, dad, he good. You know, oh, dad, he good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not that the love, I don't believe that the love is not there. I just think that, you know, a lot of times dad will be focused on y'all take care of mom, like, you know, like everybody's saying.
Right.
And then dad is just like, you know, I'm good. Give me the big piece of chicken and 2 biscuits, you know, something cold, I'm good. You know, we just keep it easy, keep it simple.
And let me get that remote, player.
let me watch the game. Let me watch the game today. Let me watch my game.
That's right.
And here's another moment from another father.
Hey, good morning. How's everyone doing? Hey, I just want to thank G-Dub, aka Mr. Biggs, and the Get Established Show for allowing me to participate in this Father's Day special. My name is Don Brown. I'm a father of 4, 3 boys, 1 girl, and my oldest is by way of marriage. I currently am a delivery driver for Oberweis Dairy. You probably seen the trucks driving around, but I work at night, so you probably haven't seen me at all. But what this show is about fathers. I just want to give my dad a shout out. He's been there since day one, and he's been my role model and has given me 52 years of wisdom, love, and direction. I am blessed to be in a two-parent household, and that's a blessing in itself. But most of all, what I got from my dad was probably work ethic, pride, and integrity. If I didn't get anything else, I definitely got these three characteristics from him. Just by watching him on the grind every day, all day, and even on the weekends when he was off, he was definitely out doing something, trying to make some money. Also, pride in what you do is so important. If you're going to do something, do it well. No excuses. Just get the job done and let others know that you take pride in your work. But probably most of all, or the most important one, I believe, is integrity. Integrity in self, integrity with other people. Just stand by your word. Your word is your bond. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. He also showed me how to treat my wife in the way that he treated and took care of my mom. It just shows you how to treat a woman with total respect, period. So that's what I'm trying to instill in my kids so that they can be the next role models for their generation. So what I want to do is just say, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there doing their thing. And thanks again.
So I got another question. I'm gonna start with Dr. Mike on this one. What is one lesson that you learned later in life that you'll pass on to your kids earlier because you realized that it was important?
Yeah, that's a good one. I guess a lesson that I definitely pass on is never stop hustling, never stop grinding. My pops will be he just turned 79 last week, and he's starting to finally slow down. But I always remember, whether he working, you know, double shifts at the post office, going in to clean up at the hospital, picking up a random trash run, taking people's clothes to the cleaners. I mean, he always had a hustle, always had a grind, and it's just to make sure we had everything we needed. So I would just tell my kids, keep going, make sure you provide, for your family, and do all that you can. And it's important. That's a life skill that we got to make sure we teaching everybody. I do have a session that I pass on to my faculties. Is, make sure you put your kids on your shoulder so they can see farther than you, and that's just not a as we're young, you get on your kid's shoulder, you get on your father's shoulders, you get on your older siblings, so you can kind of see farther than they can. But I use that metaphor as, as you get older in life, no matter what your perceived ceiling is, make sure your kids reach farther than that. But you got to lay that foundation first. So that's one of the definitely one of the things I pass on to my kids.
Awesome, man. That was a
A great comment.
word. Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Kenny, same question.
I think I gotta piggyback off of what Mike said, but add on to by saying, from the Bible, honor thy mother and father. Being in the military, and Mike, I was a JRTC instructor in Plymouth, North Carolina as well. So that grind piece you were speaking about, I've done a lot of things in my life, but being in the military and seeing how much that we have endured with, deployments and things like that, or even servicemen and women not even coming home, you gotta establish a relationship, no matter how, the situation may be in your household. You gotta establish a relationship, with your parents, and the parents need to establish a relationship with their children.
Exactly.
I've seen the happiest, household become, the saddest household, due to, just from one deployment. It might have been like 3 months long or something like that, but they were, devastated by the fact that their mother or father had to leave, and that was their support, the kids. So I think that, my father, I didn't get to know him well. And that's another aspect. I think that people really need to, get a relationship with their parents, and parents get a relationship with their children, because my father he died when I was 4 years old. So I didn't have a father all my life. So that piece that Mike was grinding, or the piece that Mike was talking about grinding, I've been doing that since I was about well, shoot, everybody, about 14? I've been grinding since then.
Nice.
So, you know, it's a thing of, you know, Father's Day, it means a lot to us. Us fathers. I'm a brand new father by any chance. But you know, I gotta agree with what Tamika said. You know, I'm that type of guy. Like, just take care of you, make sure your mom is straight. If y'all straight, I'm straight. You know, I'm gonna spend time with you guys, but if y'all are straight and your mom is straight, I'm good. I don't need much, because I'm always moving, I'm always grinding. So, you know, that's just me. But I think the relationship piece, because, you know, we have relationships in everything that we do. We have a relationship with the guy that's going to put a plug in your tie. We got a relationship with the bill collectors that's calling every day. You know, we got relationships everywhere. So I think that, you know, the relationship piece in the household is gold. You know, we don't need to deter from it. We need to stay on course and, you know, pretty much, you know, keep each other accountable for what we do in the household.
Awesome.
Spoken like a true military man.
Hey.
Yeah, Tamika, I'd love to hear from a female perspective on this. What lesson have you learned later in life that you pass on to your kids earlier?
Well, first and foremost, let me apologize. Happy Father's Day to you guys. On today and every day, if handsome, wonderful, amazing, and dope was a person, it will be each and every one of you. Mr. Michael Jackson, thank you for your service, your efforts to our kids. Kenny, thank you for your service in the armed forces, and your dedication to our kids in the school. You guys keep doing what you're doing. You are appreciated. You're loved. Happy Father's Day again. My apologies for not saying that in the beginning. Y'all have a great day. Don't just say, take care, mom. Enjoy y'all day. Put your feet up, relax. Derek, here's your remote, whatever your beverage of choice is. I would say I man the grill, but y'all know that ain't my shot. I'm in the kitchen. So outside ain't it, but in the kitchen, I got you. But my lesson, I think that I learned from my dad is you have to show up to be accounted for. Like, and I tell a lot of people know that my father's been there every day. There's not too many days that we don't talk. He's 82, and like Michael said, his dad, I think he said 79. My father just turned 82. He's not slowed down yet. He's retired twice, still working. He thinks he's Tupac, aka Biggie, Nappy Smalls. He's full of energy, and I love it. But my father was an alcoholic he struggled with alcoholism for about 26 years of my life. He stopped drinking when I was 16, and he didn't stop until I was 16. But probably about 3 years after I was 16, right before I graduated high school, he retired from the city of Portsmouth with perfect attendance. So my whole life, he struggled with the addiction to alcohol, but during that time, he never missed a day from work. So he showed up, and he always said, even though I still had to hit Easy Jesus is what he called his E&J, I still had to go to work because my family had to eat. I couldn't come home without a paycheck. My wife couldn't flip the switch and the lights didn't come on. She couldn't turn the water and the water not run. So he said, you have to show up to be accounted for because nobody can tell your story. He's like, even if my boss sent me home, he couldn't say Nappy didn't come to work. So I thought that to be commended because you struggled with an addiction and still retired after 26 years with perfect attendance. I can't tell you I had perfect attendance, and I've never struggled with any dependency on anything in 6 years. So I think my biggest lesson from him, and I instilled it in my daughter early, is show up. And he said he showed up because nobody can tell his story better than him. It would have been easy for somebody to say, hey, Nappy ain't here, boss, because he probably drunk again. He's like, but when I showed up, my boss either said, Nappy, you can't work like that. And he drove trucks, the garbage truck in Portsmouth. Like, y'all hear me say all the time how I used to be on a school bus and I would hate to see that garbage truck come past because he was going to blow that horn 1,000 times. Like, hey, nigga, and wave. And I'm like, really, sir? But I thought about how many of my friends couldn't tell you where their father was at. When they went home, they didn't know if the lights were going to be on, if the rent was going to be paid. So my lesson that I learned from him was to show up and tell your own story, because nobody else can tell it better than you. And that's what I tell Tyler. If you're not there to tell your story, somebody else can create whatever platform they want to create and loop you into it. So show up so that you can tell your own story, and better yet, create your own story. So my lesson to her that I've always said, you got to show up.
Outstanding. That's a super valid point.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. And thank you again. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And, you know, I'm a father as well. You know, my dad is 87. Hopefully to see 88 coming up soon here. He slowed down. He's retired 4 times now. Federal government. He also served in the military. He did 2 years active in the Rest Reserves in the Army. He was a deputy sheriff for 20 years. And then, of course, he also worked at part-time. It's like what Mike said with his hustle. My dad worked a lot. He worked at this restaurant for 38 years, every weekend. And like your father, my dad also, you know, struggled with alcoholism, but he was showing up. We had to worry for nothing. My mom had to worry for nothing. But, you know, and it must have been something in the water around that time, because I think I may have been about 16. And one day he just stopped cold turkey. And my dad told me, he was like, one day he just thought about it. He said, all the money I wasted and sometimes the time I wasted with some of my relationships, he was like, it became to a point it just wasn't worth it no more. And that was it. He had to, you know, as far as I know, he had to drink since. I mean, but he got great stories. He's a little slow now. He uses a walker now, but he's still pretty sharp as a tack. And I spend time with him because right now, the way that he physically, he needs to have a treatment done on his legs and his feet. And what I'll go over and you know, I'll wash his feet and put his treatment on. And that's when we listen to music. We crank up the Isley Brothers, or I tell them, what you want to hear today? Because I tell them, I say, I got a portable jukebox, you know. But the times that you have, and this is what I really want to stress to children that's watching, you've got to remember, when you couldn't, your parents could. Your father, your mother, they could for you. And when they can't, you should, because they did for you.
Absolutely.
You got to remember that. That's a part of the circle. It's what Mike talked about. It's what Kenny talked about. It's what Tamika talked about, the relationships and the power of this thing we call family.
And here's another moment from another amazing father.
Good morning. What's up to the Get Established team? My name is Nate Miller, Senior Risk Coordinator for Capital One, President and basketball coach of Churchland Basketball Association. And I was asked to say a couple good words on this wonderful Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I want to give a shout out to my biological pops. I appreciate you very much. You know, having you in my life with my family and my kids is very important to me and them as well. We appreciate it. I want to say rest in peace. Shout out to James Monroe Alston, aka Black, and Albert Lee Butts, aka Jitter. I learned a lot of do's and don'ts from both of you guys, so I appreciate you guys as well. May you rest in peace in heaven. Message to my wife. Thank you. You helped me complete my circle. Appreciate you bearing my child, and I appreciate what we do as a team together to help raise them. To my son's mom, I want to say thank you as well for bearing my child. You let me into your life when I knew very little about fatherhood, and you already had a child, so that was major importance. And I respect both of you, and I wish nothing but great things in both of your lives. To my kids, I would say, keep working hard out here. You guys are young adults, and one coming out of high school soon. This life throws a lot of obstacles at you, but you have to make the right compromises and right decisions to make sure you put yourself in the best situation to succeed. And a piece of fatherly wisdom that I can pass out, I would say, is, fatherhood is a responsibility. Be active in your child's life. Honor that responsibility to the best of your ability. Do what you can to be there for your child, because the impacts we make in our child's life, that determines the type of citizens that we put out here in these communities. Peace to the Get Established team. I love what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. Holla back.
I think one valuable skill, and we probably talked about this before, but changing the tire. I feel like every kid, male, female, they got to know how to change the tire.
Yes.
Because that tire is going to go flat.
No doubt.
Without a doubt. And that's one skill. We don't want anybody on the side of the road and not knowing how to handle that when the time is done.
Listen, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that because guess how old I was when I learned how to change the tire?
36.
Absolutely not. Give me about, what you said, 36. Add 6 more to that.
Oh wow.
Wow. Wow.
And was it a forced lesson or was it?
Absolutely, it was a forced lesson, and I learned between YouTube and the guy on AAA was taking too long, and I was mad. I was on the road by myself, and I'm like, I can't stay out here. I gotta go. It was a hot mess. I was so mad when I got home to my dad. I was like, why you never teach me how to change a tire? Why? He's like, I just used to come and change it for you. I was like, yeah, you did me a great disservice. And when I got home, I was like, Tyler, you get to learn how to change a tire today. She was like, ain't nothing wrong with this tire. I was like, you still gonna learn.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's dope. Derek, you got one?
Yeah. Can I revisit the last question real quick? I wanted to share something with you. So Big asked what was something that we would teach our kids early on in life that we learned later on in life. My father passed 15 years ago. And even though I wasn't in the household with him every day, he left a great stamp on my life. My father was a longshoreman, and just like everybody else spoke on how they had hustle. Well, my dad didn't have time to do any other hustle, because anybody that knows anything about the longshoremen, they could be at home chilling and they get a call, they got to go in. And he worked a crazy amount of hours. Now, my dad didn't teach me this by verbalizing it, but just watching him. My dad got into real estate at a young age. He owned a city block. And I want to talk about finances. It's so important that we stress things like this to our kids. Just watching my dad and how he was able to buy real estate, develop his own property, and turn that into money. It's very important that we get our kids thinking about this very early on. The hustle is different. It's different nowadays. It's not about going out and doing physical work to create dollars. It's about using your mind, and we need to make sure that our kids are on top of that. I just wanted to drop that gem on it, because in the Black household, finances are not talked about enough, in my opinion. So you want to have these conversations, and you want to make sure that your kids get a better start than you did. With the internet and being able to invest now, and being able, especially with what's going on with real estate nowadays, you want to dive into that and have a great knowledge of that when you get out here in the world on your own. I just wanted to add that. A skill that I think that every kid should know, and we take it for granted, is washing clothes. And I'm going to say that one more time, washing clothes. It's very important, because you have to know how to separate certain clothes in order to wash them. You can't wash red jeans with white T-shirts. Then you're going to end up with pink T-shirts. And it's very important that we have these discussions and we show our kids how to wash clothes. You want to be presentable when you leave the house. And I say that to say we have a lot of these pajama wearing, bonnet wearing young ladies and young men going out to the grocery stores now. You need to take more pride in your appearance when you step out, because you never know who you're going to run into. We talked about this on a couple of shows ago about appearance. You step out with bonnets on and pajamas on, and then you run into somebody that you might be interviewing with in a couple of months, and they be like, you look familiar. Oh, you look different with that bonnet off. I remember you when I saw you in Walmart, but we have to think about these things. You might not think it's a big deal to run into the grocery store with your pajamas on or your bonnet on, but appearance is everything, because first impressions are lasting impressions. I just wanted to drop that gem.
Hey.
And here's another moment from another father.
Hi, my name is Travis Ames, and I'm a financial planner. And I'm thankful for this opportunity just to say a few words about Father's Day and about a father's love and a father's impact on his children. You know, one of the most memorable things that I remember about my dad is that every day since I could remember, he would always speak over us at night before we would go to bed and say that God's got great things for you. He never, never, ever, ever gave up on us. He gave us what he felt like he didn't have as a dad, but he never really judged us. He held us to a standard, but he never judged us. He helped us mature by allowing us to make our mistakes, by standing by us when we made them, and then encouraging us to do something different, to do something better, something greater. So, Dad, you're no longer with me, but I want to tell you that I love you very much. And there's nothing that I have gotten in this life that more than likely didn't come from you and from your love. You taught me how to love in the most difficult times with my children, and I'm very grateful for that wisdom. To the mother of my children, Shauna, I want to thank you because without you, I could never have been the father that I am today and the father I'm still growing to be. You encouraged me to father my children and love them with a great honor and a great respect. And I am very grateful to you, and I will always hold you in high esteem and regard for your ability to allow me to father and help me become an even better father, but teaching me how to be soft and gentler with my daughters and even with my son. So I thank you. To Kayla, Travis, Victoria, and Lauren, you're the best part of me. I mean, there's nothing else that a father can say except without you, I would never have the opportunity to learn, grow, make mistakes, and become better at loving you. You have taught me how to love even when I didn't want to love. You've taught me how to give even when I didn't want to give. But now I want to give everything I can possibly give you. And I want to share wisdom and guidance with you because that's what I'm designed to do. My love for you never ends. It will always remain because you are the children that God blessed me with. My responsibility to love and to shepherd you and to father you is always there. There is nothing you can do that will ever make me remove my love. To the rest of you out here, the best advice that I can give as a father is that it's not the most easiest thing that you could ever do, but it is the most rewarding thing. As fathers, let's just encourage our kids every day. Let's just tell them we love them every day. And I can promise you they'll turn out okay. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there who are doing everything they can to raise good young men and women in our community.
Hey, spoken like a true father. You know that was a fatherly thing. We're gonna go into a question now that this is for the definitely for the fathers, and this is a serious question. So, as a black father having black children, what's the best step by step process when being pulled over by the police?
Is that with
Mm.
is that with is that with your child being accompanied by you, or is that just with them
With
alone?
them on their own, the lesson that they got to know what's going on when they're alone.
Well, I mean, I can interject in this one. Uh, Someone told me. Well, actually, it's interesting. My nephew's girlfriend. She told me this. You know, have your information at arm's reach as soon as either in the glove compartment or in the visor. So all you had to do is just drop it down, put it on the doggone dash. If you're in that type of environment, have your hands on the dash, and then wait for that officer to get to you, and then whatever verbal commands they have, you follow those commands.
I'm going to add to what Raymond just said. Announce everything that you're doing. So
Right.
if you're reaching for that visor, you announce to the police officer, I'm reaching for the visor to get my registration and my license. Make sure you announce everything that you're doing instead of just making a movement.
Mike.
Yeah, one of the unfortunately we had to have the conversation with my then 11-year-old son last summer this time. He was like, "Wait, what happens?" Because this was all new to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I would I would say, always look at the lens and look at the perspective of others. Um, Understand when that police officer woke up this morning and he put his uniform on and left the house. He wants to get home to his family too. So understand some of them may be just as afraid as you. But like you said, announce everything. Hands on the wheel, and just say, "Hey, my wallet is in my back pocket. Do you mind if I did that? Um, my registration is in my glove compartment." Just open communication about everything is vital.
Thank you, Kenny.
Firstly, I want to reference a movie. It's called American Skin. I don't know if any one of you've seen it.
Yeah.
But this very situation we're referring to is the actual spark of the movie. I think education about rights and what you can and cannot do, I think that needs to be the basis of what we need to teach our children, male and female. Because for a while there, a couple of years back up to the present, it was females getting attacked. Like our little black females, they were getting attacked. And I think that we need to, educate ourselves first, and then, instill that same education into our children, so they'll know what to do. And I agree with everybody, especially Derek. Announce everything that you do. Here in Atlanta, and I'm pretty sure Derek can contest to this. I mean, we go through a lot out here, with the speeding and all that. These kids out here are really, doing some wild stuff. They're being kids, but they're taking it to a little extreme. So in my aspect, I think that education is the key. Teach our kids what to do, give them a couple of scenarios, and then, go from there.
Appreciate that. One thing I like to add, if it's nighttime, turn that dome light on, light up the inside of that car. And I think one key thing is being prepared, because when we jump in the car, a lot of times we jumping on, kids, they jump in, they turn the radio on. They're not thinking about, what if I need to pull my license? What if I need to get my insurance? It would be great to have it under the visor. And I wish I had access. There was a black kid that built some of these packets that's built for your visor, where you have your license, your registration, all your information in there.
From my perspective, I have Tyler's 24. She's in Atlanta. New surroundings. And I know my child. And I know that if I ask her, Tyler, where's let me get your bank card right quick. Let me get your license. She can never, ever find it. So now what I have her, when you get in the car, that your cup holder, your little console area, take your license out of your purse, out of your wallet, and just keep it right there until you get out of the car. And that's just my peace of mind, because she can never find it. In the store, you're frantic trying to look for it. So I can only imagine if you're pulled and they ask for your license or your registration, keep it there. Keep it right there. So I asked her to just keep it within arm's reach. I also, if you have somebody in the car with you, just make sure they're all alert to like what's going on, because they can just be out at crazy hours. She told me that the thing now is, if they're together and somebody gets pulled, one of them starts recording. I said, I don't know if that's a good thing, because that can be alarming to the police as well, because if they see that they're being recorded, I think that can agitate the situation. But she said that's, I guess, the unseen or like a behind the scenes thing. Now our kids are teenagers or young adults. If we get pulled, somebody immediately starts recording. And I guess that's so that they can have their own. And I don't see it as a bad thing, but I just know if it's an officer with ill will, intentionally, and they see that you're recording, so that's a whole nother issue to me. Put your phone away or stop recording me. I'm like, I don't know. If you're in the car by yourself, this is what I need you to do. keep that license out. Your registration and that glove compartment is not for your makeup. It's not for your extra pair of shoes. It's not for it's not for all of those things. So keep this car organized so that if you do get pulled, you can have your registration. If you don't feel comfortable with it there, make a copy of it and have it in multiple places so that you don't make yourself a target.
And here's another moment from another father.
Good morning. My name is Damon Caldwell. I'm a veteran of the United States Navy. I served 1990 to 1994 in Desert Storm, and I made the transition to the civilian world as an electrician. I currently work for the city of Virginia Beach as an electrician, and been pretty successful at it. I would like to say Happy Father's Day to my dad and my bonus dad, Ernest Caldwell and Matt Coleman. They were a big influence on the man I am today, as far as my work ethic and putting God first. That was the common thing that they had for me as a man, as advice for me growing up, is to put God first. I also would like to thank their mom, Kenesha, and their bonus mom, Heather, for loving on the kids and making the blended family work. And like I said, the piece of advice I give to all the fathers is to put God first and work hard and take care of your family. Children are looking at their parents and seeing what they do, how they do it. So just be a great role model, listen, and love. Thank you.
I want to build on that, Tamika. I want to ask the panel, how do you feel about that as far as the videoing when you get pulled over? That can't agitate the situation, but it's almost necessary now, isn't it?
I mean, I think as far as the younger generation, I mean, they're more accustomed to it, so that's why, I mean, it's like a reflex action with them, I guess these days. I mean, as far as us coming up, I mean, I know with me, my thing is, and I've been doing it, all my life, is I stick my hand out of the car and I have all my information right there, so they physically see that it's there. So I don't have to be fumbling, all that. It's right there. All you gotta do is come take it out my hand and just let me know what's going on. What did I do?
That's a good point.
Yeah. And Derek, I don't think the recording is a bad thing, because I feel like with the body cams not being on, and like we can't count on you and your equipment to work.
Right.
And sometimes we do need that third eye or some documentation, because if something does go awry. But my conversation to Tyler was, you're not going to hold your phone up and let it be known that you're recording. If it can be done discreetly, or if you feel comfortable having to record, or if you, while he's walking in your car and you just go Facebook Live, or you turn on your audio or something and have your phone down, then I'm okay with that. But I don't promote him walking to your car and you having your phone out. This is being recorded, because it's going to cause another situation.
Yeah.
Now,
so I feel like if it can be discreetly done, then okay. But as a safeguard, I see it as necessary, but I also see where it can cause another issue.
Dash cams are another option too. They might be a little pricey, but all of my truck drivers I use in my job, they use dash cams, because there's a lot of incidents that happen to them that's off subject actually, but people will try to insurance scam them. They'll try to get close enough to them so they can hit their car or whatever the case may be. But when the officers walk up, they say a lot of them use dash cams. They just keep it in the car. And when they get pulled over or whatever the case may be, they slap that dash cam on there and they plug it in and they start recording. So that's a little bit more discreet. They might not notice that as well. But yeah, I think it is necessary.
That's
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 a valid point.
valuable. Yeah, that's valuable that you said that, man. That's a great point. There was, I saw, and I can't remember. I think it was iPhones. You know, they normally try to lead the pack on when it comes to technology stuff. But I believe there is a some way that your phone, if you got it sitting on your dash, you can say something. Excuse me, if you get pulled over, like I'm getting pulled over, and it'll automatically start
According, it will.
recording.
It will.
And I think you might even better set it up where you going live as well, but it's discreet. Your screen blacks,
Right.
like Tamika was saying, and that's important because you want to be protected, but you don't want to agitate at the same time because you don't. We go to work, or we go to work some days, and we have bad days, and I'm not excusing anything. I'm just saying natural, regular human behavior. People gonna have good days, they're gonna have bad days, and they're gonna have a lot of in-between days. So if we can try to work within the realm of not agitating and just getting through our process and getting on our way, that's what we want to do. So look into some of these things. I mean, Kenny mentioned the dash cam. I mentioned the app. Try to look that up. You know, YouTube is a plethora of educational information, and if it's out there, it'll give you access to where you can find it, and you'll be able to find information on some of the things that we have talked about today. Anything else to add on that? Anyone? I liked everything that y'all said. I thought it was all a great piece to tie together. Especially, I like Raymond when he said hand it out. I got a friend that we all know, Paul. He's a lawyer. Because he has and this is something to think about too. I'm glad I'm adding this now. Because he has a concealed carry permit, the officers can see that in Virginia when they pull you. So when he gets pulled, he was advised to stick his hands out the window. So what Raymond said, I like that. Raymond stick his hands out, but he got his information as well. Because that just alleviates everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hands out the window with your information. When they pull up, here you go.
And I think it was an important piece Michael brought up, how they're also looking at it in the viewpoint of they're trying to make it home. So, and I spoke with an officer that I'm cool with, and that was one of the things that he talked about, especially with everything going on. When he pulls somebody over, he's scared. He's initially scared. So the interaction that he has with the person either provides a level of calmness or it creates a situation where he's on alert. And that's important for the youth because that going back and forth can change the whole scenario.
And here's another moment from another father.
Hey guys, greetings and salutations to you over there at the Get Established Show. Great work that you guys are doing. Please keep it up. Thumbs up. Hey, my name is Keith Robertson. I am a former Marine. My current profession is I am an underwriter for TD Bank. So here's my message to the fathers out there. Hey fathers, remember this. That position that you have as a father is an OJT position. That's right. It's on the job training, regardless of how many books you read, how many videos you look at, how much advice you can get from others. There's one variable that wasn't a part of any of those situations, and that is your child. Just remember to love your child through it, and you will have success, as the scripture says. Train up a child in which he should go, and as he gets older, he won't depart from it. That's a true statement. Just try it. It works. Now, to the mothers, I want to say this. Support your husband. Support your man and whatever it is that he's doing. And support doesn't just mean sitting there and watching him go through and just being there beside him, but give him those words of encouragement. Sometimes he just needs this little thing. It's called hope. And that hope can come from your words. And then to the children, one brief message for you guys. You were given one thing when you came into this realm. Is called purpose. That's right, purpose. The Creator gave you something to bring with you when you came here. That gift is the purpose in your life, and you each have a purpose in your life. And what is the pursuit of happiness is finding out that purpose. What they say that if you find something that you love to do and you can get paid for it, truly you have a successful life. So I ask you to strive and push forward to find your purpose in life. Now, if I'm going to give any type of fatherly advice or wisdom, I would say this one thing out there to everybody. Live life Okay, because we go through on a day-to-day grind and we begin to survive life. Remember to live life. Well, that's it for me. That's all I got. And I just want to say to the fathers out there that's doing great work, and you brothers at the Get Established Show, have a great Father's Day, and absolutely look forward to seeing more of you. Peace.
True indeed. All right, so we're gonna turn it up a little bit, lighten it up a little bit, and I think this is gonna be the one that's gonna wrap it up for us. Out of the instruction that you have given as a driver's ed, and I ain't talking about actual driver's ed. I'm talking about a parental driver's ed when you teach your kids how to drive. Who is the best? Is it mommy or daddy when teaching these kids how to drive?
It is dad for
It's
sure.
Dad all the way.
Mom has no patience. None at all, bro.
Boy, Derek, speak, Derek, speak.
Mom has no patience, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
None
she
whatsoever.
loses it. Straight up. Listen, we'd have been through this a few times.
Now,
Get back to the house. You know what? From this point going forward, you going out with them.
now I can't say in my house. My wife, she does everything I do. She knows how to drive sticks. She rides bikes. She drives 18-wheelers. She does everything. So she's a little bit different, but she does, like you said, Derek, she gets, impatient, and she will like, okay, look, this day I need you to go out there because I can't do it no more. So yeah, I agree, Derek. You right on point.
Y'all not gonna talk about the fact that probably the kids listen to y'all better than they listen to us.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
y'all the nurturers. See, that's
Yeah,
the
well,
thing.
absolutely. Now, that torch, I will gladly pass, and I will renounce my throne. You can have all that because Tyler almost gave me 3 tachycardia, 6 heart attacks, and I don't want it. Y'all can have all of that because y'all the better driving instructors. Be all that. I don't want any parts of it. I don't even like riding with her. She been licensed for. I said, Tyler, I have passenger seat anxiety. She was like, is that even a thing? I think you made it up. I said, I probably did make it up, but you gave it to me. Nah, I don't want none of that. Y'all are salute, kudos, all of that. Y'all are the better drive. Get a job at DMV. You can have it. I don't want it.
I incentivized my kids. I told them, I said, irregardless if you pass that driver test or not, you got to pass my test. But the benefit is, if you pass my test, you can drive any car that I ever own. Because that way, I'm that comfortable. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm still a little nervous sometimes riding with my son, because I was a little scarred when I was out teaching him how to drive, and the light turned red, and thank God nobody was in front of us. And he tried to stop, but it was one of those stale greens, and he just kept going. And I asked him, I said, well, why didn't you stop? He was like, I tried. I tried. And after that, that was the one big major mistake. Other than that, he came along. He was one of those kids, because this generation a little different. He didn't want to drive. He was comfortable with us picking him up and dropping him off everywhere. But I told him, bro, that's over. It's a car sitting out here with your name on it. It need to be driven so you can get yourself around, because we about to not take you nowhere.
Right.
So that changed the game. So Mike, I gotta ask you, between you and Kenya, man, who's the best, man?
Yeah, it's definitely on me. We going through it right now. My baby turned 16 in December, and in the driver's ed course. But I'm the passenger logging all the hours right now.
Right.
But the biggest thing is, a lot of kids, they don't want to. That's that generation. They don't have a desire to drive.
Mhm.
My baby is doing okay right now. I just told her, you don't have to have a response to every suggestion I have. If I say slow down, you can't say, well, I am. because by the time you thinking about your response, you done messed up and missed something else. Now you swerving out the lane. I'm just talking about slowing down. Or the speed limit is 70. Well, I'm going 70. Well, you cleared the speedometer says you're going 55. So one of us is not right here. But
but it
yeah.
feel like 70.
Right.
You see these cars whizzing
But
by
yeah.
you.
But yeah, mama cannot handle it in the neighborhood, in the driveway, not at all. That's a wrap. We don't discuss that anymore.
Yeah, one thing I recommend when and we didn't do this with my son, but with my daughter, we got I got it. Went online and found these student driver magnets, and I put them around the car because kids, man, my daughter, man, I gotta protect the female, man. They're a little nervous already. So I put those magnets on the car just so people around could understand I got a student driver, in the car and, be cool. I don't want to have to get out and snap nobody neck for blowing the horn at my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
They say that 6'3/6'4" gentleman get out the car, the whole attitude gonna change. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, when I was teaching, my thing was, hey, look, I want you to obey the speed limit. Just take your time. Let people, if they honk the horn, don't pay no attention. You just focus on what I tell you. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Until I let you know what you need to do, because hey, my eyes is on the road and on you. So you just stay focused on what I say.
All right, so that's been good, y'all. That was a good round. Hey, women may say, the moms may say they're better, but we know the real deal, fathers. Happy Father's Day again, and I'm gonna pass it on to the mother on the panel. Tamika, it's on you, darling.
To all my mothers out there, disregard that last statement. We already know. We can let them think. But fathers, happy Father's Day. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are needed. Keep doing your thing. To the one, the only, Nappy Brown, I love you. Happy Father's Day. The gift that I learned from my father, he blessed me with the love of music. And the gift that I've gotten from him is just love, love, love. My father loves everybody. There's not anybody that can come in his presence and not leave feeling loved more than you came in his presence. So just the gift of love is what I got from my dad, and also music. He's a rhymer, not a rapper. He said, y'all young kids are rappers. I'm a rhymer. If you don't know what that is, I'll give you the pleasure of meeting him one day, and he will, he said he don't spit, that's nasty, but he'll rhyme something for you. But the gift that Nappy blessed me with was love. I've never known any other kind of love in the physical, but that love that doesn't stop loving. So I love you all. Happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Now, all right. Today is the celebration of the men that are in all your lives. Your wives, daughters, sons. Just know that these men here have really shown. Especially these men on the panel have shown what it is to be a real father and a real support to you all. So remember that, and and celebrate them and give them their flowers while they're here now. We all told a good portion of of lessons that we've learned throughout life, and of course, we can't give every lesson in just one show, because we've all had experiences and things that went on in our lives that that have enriched us, and we've given those lessons to each and every one of our children, and family members as we've gone through our life. So with that said, I'm gonna pass it off to my man D Jones so he can do what he do.
Hey, it's been a great show today. I want to thank Mr. Michael Jackson and Mr. Kenny Hutton for joining the show again. Y'all brought great value. Appreciate you, gentlemen. And thank you, Miss Tamika Riddick, for blessing the stage with your presence.
Thanks for
That
having me.
being said, you already know what it is. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Get established.
This has been another episode of the Get Established Show. Today's topic was the special Father's Day edition. We got Kenny Hutton in the room. We got Michael Jackson in the room. And we got a special panelist with us today, Miss Tamika Riddick, and the regular Get Established fam. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, chiming in, watching, supporting. We're going to ask you guys to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it out. We've got so many more great things on the horizon. We want to thank you guys, and we hope you have a great week. Until next time, we'll see you soon. It's the Get Established Show. Peace.
Wow. Like, oh no.
Talking about the little bodybuilder that was walking in the background. The little bodybuilder walking in the background.
Man, that make you freeze, bro. Make you freeze.
She old now, man. She old. See, she got frost in her. She camera shy.
I can see the gray around her muzzle.
Man, she camera shy now.
Gotcha. She popped up. I popped right back in that car, bro.